What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and I have finally broken down and bought a lift, even though my ceiling's not that high. Long story short, I actually bought a two-post lift back before COVID happened from Max Jacks. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. They literally went out of business the next month after I bought the lift. It never showed up. Took a while to get my money back. They had to go through bankruptcy, all kinds of stuff. Bit and Pack, I believe, ended up buying them. So whenever I went through all that, I was just like, ugh, I don't even want to deal with it. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm getting older. I'm in my mid-40s at this point in time, and rolling around on a creeper all day long is really starting to wear me out. So I broke down and I bought a four-post. Now, this is an Atlas, for whatever that means. It's just one of the name brands that they slap on these things as they come out of China. I bought it from Race Tool Direct. I'm sure you've seen them on Facebook or Instagram or everywhere. They just flood the market with advertisements for lifts and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't bad. It was about $3,000, I want to say, shipped. And in fact, I bought the sliding jack platform that goes underneath it. That thing was $1,000 on top of it, which seems a bit ridiculous, but overall, $3,000. The cool thing about it is it came with everything: drip trays, tool tray, casters. You set this thing down on the casters, you know, if there's not a car on it, it literally picks it up like a fraction of an inch, and one person can rearrange this thing and roll it. And the nice thing about being a four-post is you don't have to anchor it. You can, but you don't have to, you know, as long as your garage floor is fairly even. So the big thing, as I said, I think my ceilings are 110 inches. I hoped, even though I knew it wasn't going to work, that maybe I'd be able to jack this thing up and fit a car underneath it. But that does not work. And so essentially what I've done is I've found the max height that the Nova can go up. And let's run it up here. Surprisingly, this thing says that it's, I don't know, it's supposed to be on a 30 amp circuit, but I don't know. I ran this thing up, found the max height on locks, has spider web there, and I marked it on the side so I know when to stop. I'm paying attention to my arrows to make sure I don't run my car into the kitchen. And there we go. So now we'll just let her down on the locks and we're good. This is the maximum height, and I'll move the camera up here so you can see underneath my banner and everything of what I've got going on. But the cool thing is it's tall enough that I can now work from a stool. Let's go take a closer look. Okay, here you can see exactly how high it is, and in fact, I've got probably 5 inches above it right now. This is the highest lock point. I can't get to the next set of locks on it to set this thing down without getting into the ceiling. Now, obviously, if the car was a little bit lower, maybe I could, and that's why the Nova's on the lift right now, because the rear shocks on this thing are too long. And so they bottom out, and the reason behind that was whenever I originally spec'd these out, I had a different leaf spring on this thing, and now that I've got the Calvert leaf spring split mono on it, it lowered the back end to the point where now the shocks are too long. So I got some new QA1 double adjustables to go up in there to fix that. But the front, let's take a look over there. Yeah, the front, it's got a little bit of a rake, a little bit of a cowboy rake. So we're going to take the front wheels off, put 2-inch drop spindles on that to lower the front down. There's coilovers, QA1 double adjustable coilovers on there, but they're pretty much to the bottom. Or Dragonfly. They're pretty much to the bottom of their travel length up there. So instead of messing with that, I was like, let's just put new spindles on it. We'll maintain the geometry, lower that down. And, but at the end of the day, my thought was, if this thing is close enough, I could always just take the wheels off, put it on the jack, and put it on the jack stands with the tool tray. The tool trays for these, if you don't know, are actually strong enough that they can support like 3,000 pounds. So you can put jack stands in the tool tray, or, you know, underneath the, well, I don't know, probably wouldn't be able to get them on my frame reinforcement. But I will tell you this much. After all the work that I've done on this, especially with things like the frame reinforcements that I have on the Nova, I really wish I would have bought a lift sooner. So, and I'll show you why. Real quick, before we go any further, I wanted to take a moment to show you, I've got drip trays underneath there. I've got our tool. Ignore my turn down. That fell off for some reason. Got the tool storage tray that slides underneath here. Drip tray back there, and not going to be able to see it, but I've got the jack. Let's see if we can come over to this side and take a look. There's the jack. And that actually slides very easily because it's on like Teflon or something to help slide. And here it is. This is me sitting in my stool. As you can say, I gotta be careful not to bang my head, but we get up underneath this thing and it's perfect. Perfect height. You can't even see me because I'm underneath here, but hey, look at me go. I'm working on stuff. Pop these drip trays out of the way and we're cooking with gas. Like doing the exhaust and stuff like that, man, I'm just telling you, if you're even considering something like this, I say go ahead and do it. It's worth it. I'm so happy I finally broke down and did it. And honestly, this thing was not that bad to put together. So it came obviously in a big pallet kind of setup. Took my trailer, had it loaded on my trailer, brought it back to the house. I managed to unload all of this by myself using my engine cherry picker and got it kind of laid out in here, and then had somebody come over and help me assemble it. And the hardest part was this skid has the ram in it, so it is the heavy section, and getting that flipped over wasn't bad. Then essentially what we did is we got everything bolted together, put jacks on both ends, and raised this thing up until it engaged the first set of locks, which are adjustable. Once we engaged the first set of locks, we ran the cables to the four corners, and essentially what you have is you've got pulleys, and then the cables go to the top of the post and secure to the top of the post. There's adjustability in that, so you want to make sure that all of your locks are engaging at the same time, at the same height. So we ran it up. See, and I get underneath here and I just see stuff that I've got to mess with. In fact, I found out that my ground wire to my fuel sender was broken, and that's why my fuel wasn't reading. I fixed that the other day, just sitting here doing nothing. But yeah, it's made life so much easier. Like the idea of doing work underneath a car doesn't freak me out anymore because I know I'm not going to be so sore at the end of the day from getting up and down off a creeper all day. To the point where we're finally going to pull this Power Glide out and put our new Power Glide, our FTI Shorty with the gear vendors up in here and get this thing upgraded and ready for the road. We still have all the upgrades to do on the motor with the new Brodix heads and stuff like that, the new intake, you know, all that jazz to get this thing where it needs to be, where it's making great power and ready to go out and get some rips. So that's one of the things that's been going on around here lately. I just wanted to give you a quick update about the garage. I'm so excited about it. you're going to be seeing this in a lot of videos because we're going to be doing a lot of different things. We got to get the Hellcat in here and replace some sensors and bolt some parts on it. We got to get the Chevelle on here and do some work on it. Like, we've got so much to do, and this is going to make our lives so much better. So I'm going to get busy because I do have so much to do, but I just kind of wanted to say, hey, if you're thinking about doing it, this is the best money I've spent for something that was not performance related. So, and you don't have to have all the room in the world to get benefits out of this. As I said, this thing is not, you know, the highest thing in the world, but it just is perfect for being able to do some work. And even if I couldn't get it this high, I would, you know, get a shorter stool or something. But hey, you guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning.